Hey, this is Steven from LegitTechTutorials, and welcome back to our product design series for the multi-extruder, the multi-purpose plastic extrusion tool. We are again working on the expansion modules, the automatic spooler, and the dimensional control module. So today's task is we are going to be taking this spooler module and getting it ready to print. So I am ready to go. I have my lot of load cells, my 1 kilogram load cells. So those are ready to be sized. Also, as you know, we have already sized the motor to this. So we are going to be working on a few things before we are ready to start printing. Alright, so one of the first things that we're going to do is I kind of want to move this guy. So let me see something here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get ready for the load cell. The load cell is exactly half an inch. Oops. Alright, exactly half an inch. Then we're going to drill a few holes . And these are actually, luckily for me, these guys are threaded. So I just need a general. So what I'm going to do is you put the bolt in through the bottom. So I'm going to guess that these use 1/8 screws or something like that. So let's go. Okay, so let's do 0.2. Yeah, let's do 0.2 holes. So 0.2 holes, and okay, I need to make sure that we pick, because actually so yeah, I was looking at the wrong side, because the holes are different on either side. So yeah, let's do, this side is 1.170 thousandths, 165 thousandths. So let's go with Let's go with 2.25. 0.25. Okay, also another thing is I'm going to need to extend it in here a little bit. And we're going to find out how far exactly we would need to be. Okay, so 0.225. That's what we're going to need. And now the gap between the outside and the center is about 0.2. Okay, and there's the first hole. And from there to the next one, it is 0.6. And there you see is the issue. Put our point there. Stop sketch. Alright, looks good. Next part, sketches. Sketch 1, sketch 2. I'm gonna draw some hole. I'm gonna cut some holes. Oops. These are what did I say? Point 0.225, right? And this is for. I gotta make sure I keep. Yeah, because these are two different size bolts that you need for this. Okay. So, sorry about that. Alright, so let's double check again. Yeah, so let's do. Yeah. Okay, so 0.225 inch. .225. Oh, what the hell? And here we have the first issue. So here's what I'll do. I knew that was going to be a problem. So I'm just going to have to draw some circles. And then it's also going to be a problem. This should have been all drawn in the bottom. Meh. .225. Oh, is my extrusion after? Oh. It's this one here. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. It's looking good. So yeah, you just pass the bolts through the bottom and then bolt it in from underneath. These guys will sit on top. This guy, I'm also gonna have to adjust the height to make sure that this is actually gonna be adjusted for the distance for this here. So this distance is pretty much the distance of that other one, plus this pulley. Because basically what I want to do is I want the pulley to sit where it's basically the edge. The radius is, it comes out right here. And another thing is I might have this start closer. We'll have to see, but let me just see what this is. It's half an inch. .35. Okay, so the same distance. Okay, so I mean, it shouldn't be much of an issue. I should probably just be able to go and get away with that. Alright. Another thing, this guy looks to be good. This hole is going to have to be different. So let's go ahead and reclaim some more of our screen. Close that one down. Okay, that's going to have to be changed because this shaft's pretty big, and we're going to have to get the other shaft in there. So we'll just make this ridiculously big. This is almost a 1/4 inch. 635 is pretty small. .65 is exactly a 1/4 inch, as we saw earlier. This guy is probably be okay with half an inch hole, or even a 3/4 inch hole. Yeah. Another thing that we need to do, I'm going to make this side identical to this side and actually a little bigger. Can't really see what I'm doing. Oops. Okay. So, what this is basically going to be is now they look at it, it's going to have to be it's going to have to be the face for the bearing. So there's going to be a thrust bearing that's going to go in there, try to have it set back as far as possible or set in the center. So I'll explain that in a second. I could just use this. This is the same diameter. So when you figure out the diameter of this guy, $35.56. Okay. $35.56. Just deleting all those references. Okay, 35.56. And how big is this? 50 millimeters. Let's go with that also. $50 millimeters. So one of the issues is this piece right here. Luckily, I don't think I'm going to need it. So you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. So now what I needed to do is I need this piece to subdivide that piece so that it cuts it. Okay, so let me make sure I know what I'm doing here. Okay, so basically what needs to go is it needs to have okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have it do that piece, and then this has got to subdivide out. And then I'm going to cut back. So let's just have it like that for right now. Okay. So yeah, so now this guy is going to subdivide this guy. It needs to be parallel. Okay. So it looks something like that. And then I'm going to add another sketch. This face. Let me hide the body. Let's pop that sketch up. Alright. Now, what I need to do is I need to cut this piece back a little bit into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to project this onto that face. and then I'm going to cut that face back using an extrusion into that piece. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude that back. And then let me go ahead and bring that body back. Okay. So it's 19 millimeters. 19. 9.5 or whatever. Actually, let's make it the thickness of this bearing. .62 millimeters. 7.62 millimeters. Oh, wait. So yeah, basically what's going to happen is you take this guy. Oh yeah. Forgot that there also needs to be another thing that needs to happen, which is going to be very weird. Now this is floating here. Very interesting dilemma. So basically what's going to happen here is this needs to have that same bearing, print a whole bunch of those bearings, pushed into here, and then glued on the outside to this piece. And then you need to have a spring that will be pressing on the inner piece of the bearing that will push that cone into the spool. And it pushes that cone into the spool, you're going to have to you also can't have the cone move, so the cone has to come straight out. So basically it needs to be on a shaft, but the shaft also needs to be able to rotate with the bearing. So what happens is when you get this out of the box when it's shipped, you have the bearing glued into this arm piece. And then you push the shaft through the backside, but the backside of the shaft has to engage with the center part of the bearing. So when you push it through, it has to spin at the same speed, and then that will probably be glued on the backside. Once you put it in there, just glue it really quick on the backside. Even though I'm not too worried about it, not free spinning or whatever. Anyways, once you do that, you put the bearing on the front of the shaft here. Then you glue on the cone. Wait. How is that gonna work? it's gonna, basically the cone is just gonna have to be able to slide. Okay. So I'm gonna have to also probably redo the cone. Alright, so the one issue is that you have to be able to put the bearing in through here and then be able to have engagement on the back side of the bearing. So I think this would be okay. You just have to have it the shaft be less than 1/2 inch. 1/4 inch. Still is. It's a pretty small shaft. Because you have to have a little flanger on the shaft. Okay. And then this is floating. This is okay. From here, obviously, it looks good, but from the other side, not so much. This will need further investigation. Alright, one more piece that we're going to do here is this particular gap is not right. This gap. So, this needs to be from the outside to the center. Let me make sure this guy's zeroed, which it's not. Sometimes you get some dirt on here. Add some dirt on there. Alright. So from the outside to what I'm going to presume is the center, 6.5 inches. Oh wait, 2.65. 2.65. This is 2.65 inches. As you see, that center is not in the center. Whoa. Oh, that was right. Let's try to check that one more time. 2.6, 2.65. And this freaking thing tweaks out. Not quite there. 3.80 inches. That looks damn good. Okay. Look like something might be starting to get a little wonky. Just gonna make sure all this stuff is nice and perpendicular. Alright. Stuff here, you gotta make sure stuff here doesn't get all wonky. Alright, piece looks good. Alright, so this has been Steven from LegitTechTutorials. I thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video in this series, please subscribe for more videos in this series and our series as well. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Peace.